Welcome to week 2 at the Rapids Bowling Center in Niagara Falls, New York. It's Beat the Champ presented by Storm. Our returning champ, Mr. 300, Stephen Conklin, faces this lineup today. One of these guys are going to try to knock him off. Will it be Sam Dewitt, Rob Klinger, or Rocket Rob Piccoli? Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Peck with Buffalo Bowling Hall of Famer Sue Nawojski. Boy, Stephen Conklin in his first appearance on our show wowed all of us with an amazing 300 game, a 793 three-game series. He is on fire in his hometown.
Well, that's right, Paul, but that's why we play this game, and that's why we watch this game, to see that happen. Every time we throw the first 3, 4, all of us bowlers, we hope that happens to us, and that was getting it done right.
It was amazing to watch, and it was amazing to watch the way Stephen bowled through all 3 games. And again, he has got a good group of fans here to cheer him on. We've got a great atmosphere. It's loud, it's fun, and we're pretty sure that's going to continue again today. So, let's get rolling. Beat the Champ is sponsored by Storm, the Bowlers Company, and by Latina Boulevard Foods, your favorite family in food distribution. First match of the day is going to be Sam Dewitt and Rob Klinger. And if you couldn't tell, Rob is from Niagara Falls, and he's got a pretty good group of people cheering him on. These guys, we raised the bar on these guys a little bit after last week. They've got to equally entertain like our guys did, including Steven from last week.
I would agree. They brought it.
And the group of Klinger fans are bringing it already here, and so is Rob.
Somebody listened to the instructions in the pregame.
Yes, that's right. When we tell people to make a lot of noise and it creates a fun atmosphere here and on TV, well, they're doing it. Here's Sam DeWitt, and Sam is a really interesting story as it relates to our show, because Sam, unlike many of the bowlers we have on our show, has no connections to the Western New York area at all. He is from Pittsburgh. He strictly found out about the show and said, I want to be a part of that. Made the 2.5, 3-hour drive from Pittsburgh to qualify, and here he is.
Made Erie, Pennsylvania not seem so far away.
That's right. So this is pretty cool, and again, it just tells you that if you're wherever you're watching this show, and you could be watching it in a lot of different places, if you're good enough, you think you're good enough to be on this show, all you got to do is hop in the car, hop on a plane, get to Buffalo, and qualify.
That's right.
Just because we're a Buffalo-based show does not mean we are exclusive to Buffalo bowlers. And Sam DeWitt's a pretty high-level guy from Pittsburgh and regional tournaments, and I think we're already seeing that.
Right. So Sam brings a lot of experience today, as he has competed for a couple of years now on the PWBA Regional circuit, which is the Central Region and the Eastern Region. So he encounters just a lot of high-level bowlers.
You're not going to want to talk over when Rob throws based on the fan support here. So Rob is from right here in Niagara Falls, as he works at the Seneca Niagara Casino, which is again right on the brink of the falls. If you've ever been down at the wonderful Niagara Falls State Park and that whole area. And again, much like Stephen Conklin, local guy, bowls sometimes here, other places in Niagara Falls, but short trip for the friends and the family. And Rob joked with us. He said all of his buddies were cheering on Conklin in our last week's show, and he said they better know who they're supposed to root for in this show.
Well, if it gets to the two of them, they'll be.
Yes.
This place will really be loud.
Oh my goodness! If we have an all Niagara Falls final, that would be unbelievable.
One thing I'd like to mention here is how these people have come with different experience. Rob is one of those bowlers that does a pretty good job in bowling and was kind of coerced by his friends, like, oh, these are good bowlers, why aren't you out there? And I'll tell you, I hear this a lot. I hear like a lot of our really good bowlers being encouraged by others like, you bowl, you have a good average, you go out there and bowl. And he has a story as to why you should come out here and bowl.
Oh, how about that messenger? Because it looked like Sam got that a little bit right.
Agree with you 100%. That got down the lane and definitely further right than he was looking to.
Yeah, look how far right it is right there.
Look at the late break on that, and got that beautiful messenger to come across.
36 years old, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, works at the VA hospital, and as you might be able to tell by his attire, he is an Air Force veteran, and we thank Sam not just for his service in the Air Force, but all the good work he does at the VA hospital of Pittsburgh as well. And again, a high-level bowler in the Pittsburgh area and regionally, and we're getting our first look at him here on the show.
Tough break there. The result of a driving ball, a little bit of a high hit.
He's got a 238 average right now.
Pretty high in the head pitch.
Yeah, sure is. And one of his connections to this show is he bowls with and is a doubles partner of Derek Green, who is our 5-time champion from earlier in the year here on Beat the Champ. And we'll see Derek on next week's show. But that was a little bit of the connection for Sam to go, wait, they have a TV show in Buffalo, and you can bowl on TV and you can win money doing it? I think I can make that drive. So,
and that's great. Actually, he said that as he was when he saw the show, he thought it was.
I told you you're not going to be able to talk over Rob's shots.
He thought he was bowling a professional event, and it is extremely professionally run. Well, we were going to say that. This is just a great broadcast.
Yeah, well, we're thankful to be a part of an incredibly professionally run broadcast, and we hope that you feel like when you're watching the show, you're watching the PBA Tour, and we certainly see some bowlers that are equivalent of that. So Rob is 40 years old. He has a 225 average right now, 31 career 300s and a high 827 series for Rob, and his connection to our champion is he knows and has bowled with Stephen Conklin numerous times. And you think he's getting a little bit of the Conklin boost right now?
Yep, he is. Crowd is amazing.
4 strikes and a spare on the front side 5 for Rob Klinger. And he's got the Conklin-like reactions as well.
Yeah, Niagara Falls spits out some intense bowlers.
They sure do. 82 career 300 games and a high 880 series for Sam Dewitt in his bowling career. And
wow, Sam is messing with those outside boards.
He sure is. And he is getting some nice pin action as well.
That late break does give him good pin action, but here you see the 7-10 fall last. You don't want to mess around with that.
Sam's got a high 880 series that included 34 strikes in a row in that 880 series. Bowled at the Community College of Allegheny County Junior College, and again, a number of Pennsylvania state doubles titles, finished top 3, Central Region PBA in both 23 and 24. And this time the pin action does not get him the 10.
No, if you get the ball into the oil a little bit, it lays off, and that's when you get the weak 10s. As you move into a little bit more oil, because this is a house shot, so the drive's to your right, the oil's to your left. Eventually you're going to get pushed into that oil, and that's always what could possibly come about is a weak 10 pin.
So spare pickup here in the 6th frame for Sam Dewitt III. And he gets it, and we go to a timeout. We'll come back and wrap up match number 1 here, Rapids Bowling Center, NFNY.
What is it about bowling that captivates us so much? Mastery of the game is impossible, but perfection is just within reach.
He does it! Come true!
Success seems to lie 60 feet ahead, but the real battle takes place 6 inches between your ears. So no matter how many times you fail, you would still do anything, and I mean anything, just to get 1% better. We know exactly how you feel.
12X Tech Bowling Supplies is committed to continuing the decades-long tradition of excellence established by the DeSanto family. We are the ultimate destination for customer service, experience, and product variety. We offer an extensive inventory of balls, bags, shoes, and accessories. Our unique fitting and drilling process, combined with our in-house lane, ensures a perfect fit every time. With a range of repair and maintenance services, we can help keep your gear performing at its best. Consult our team today at 1000 Highland Drive in the J. Scuddy South Plaza, conveniently located off of 390 in Henrietta.
Sixth frame now for Rob Klinger, working 3 strikes in a row. Rob's had 31 career 300s and 827 series, and he's bowled in 803 different bowling centers.
Big strike here. There's that 10-pin again.
Yep,
so as we're getting these, as the bowlers are pushing in a little bit, we are getting to see that 10-pin a little bit more. Short approach for Rob. He's really cuts that lane and that approach in half. Takes short steps.
Yeah, and when we watch his form here, you'll see like there's a lot of movement going on because of the short approach.
So he's little steps. Look how short these steps go together. High backswing, slides into that. Not a lot of
the
knee
arm.
bend.
It's a whip of the arm, and the entire body kind of whips along with it, but that creates the power. All right, just sit back, watch, and listen. And that's back-to-back ring 10s.
Yeah, that's again. He's going he's more inside. He's more inside. He's looking at like 10, 12. He's crossing. Oh, he's crossing at 15. So now he's really in the oil. That's what creates the 10. See how that's kind of flat because it's laying in the gutter.
And the spare pickup for Rob. Back-to-back spares now for Rob Klinger in what is a very tight match right now.
Right, they're tied in the 5th frame, so it's almost like a even match for the second half of the game.
Yeah, so we'll see if anybody can solve these lanes and start striking is going to be the difference in who moves on to match number 2.
Well, Sam is using the drier part of the lane. As you see, he gets all the way out there, so his ball is going to come back and hit a little harder, and that's going to be the difference. As you're forced in, your ball is going to hit a little weaker because you're in the oil. He's still able to use those dry boards out there to get that extra hit.
How much an advantage might Sam have from being a regular regional tour bowler in a setting like this in a place that he has never bowled at before until qualifying?
You're right. It's just definitely not intimidating to go to a new house because they travel a lot. They're used to that, where Rob has a little bit of an advantage. He's a Niagara Falls guy. He's been here quite a few times. But it's kind of just another day at the office for someone like Sam who travels to tournaments. So I guess that would negate the home advantage of Rob because Sam's not at all intimidated by the atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's sort of the setup for this match, right? You got a hometown guy versus a guy with no real ties, but if he's used to going to a lot of places he's never been to, then how much does that negate Rob's home lane advantage?
Right, and another advantage that Sam would have is that he's seen match play a lot more often. When you bowl those PWBA events or PBA events, it always ends up with a lot of match play. So this one-on-one competition is not something that league bowlers see when they do well in tournaments. They're generally bowling doubles or team event or something like that. So a head-to-head match is something you don't see very much when you're a league bowler.
Strike in the 8th frame after back-to-back spares for Rob Klinger. So you got Dewitt working a double. You got Rob looking for a double right here, and this one's going to come right down to the end.
Yes, this is going to end up being a carry type of contest right here. They're both going to hit the pocket. Who's going to carry?
He didn't like it based on body language as soon as it let go.
No, he got that one right. But he's looking to get to the dry boards, and I think that's his thought process. But that was too far to the right. He does not have the hand to bring it back from out there like Sam does.
See, the difference between you and me is you can tell by the technique whether it's a bad shot, and I just can tell by a guy slumping his shoulders whether it's a bad shot or not.
Yeah, well, he's The last shot on this lane, we looked at the shot, and he was going over the third arrow, which is the 15 board. That one got all the way to the gutter. That's not where he's playing. That was quite a bit right of his target.
So was that spare in the 9th frame a critical point in this match? We'll find out. 9th frame for Sam, working a double. If he can add a few more strikes to finish out, that might be enough to quiet the crowd here. And trust me, as you know, quieting this crowd is not going to be easy.
Great shot.
And that's a clutch shot by a guy who's used to making clutch shots.
Yeah, that puts him up 21 in the 8th frame.
Former junior college All-American Sam Dewitt III.
228 is the best that Rob can do, so a mark here by Sam should be enough.
Can the Steel City striker make it 4 in a row? Not this time.
Pesky 10-pin.
Yes, the 10 pins are starting to get a little pesky here at the Rapids Bowling Center. So Sam needs to finish out this spare, and then all he needs is 1 pin to win. All right, job number 1 is done. Finish out the spare.
That might be another advantage as someone who competes on a level that he does, is that's just a routine spare to them. There's no nerves in shooting a 10 pin at that level.
So the good crowd that we've had here at the Rapids Bowling Center last week and today, it might not be quite as happy as they were hoping to be. Because Sam Dewitt got the 1 pin he needed and all the other 9. It's a 238 on the board, and it's a win for Sam Dewitt III. Second match coming your way next. With a 238 to 218, Sam Dewitt knocks off one Rob, Klinger, and now faces another Rob, Piccoli. Match number 2 here as Sam tries to advance to our championship to take on Stephen Conklin, and it's Rob Piccoli. Rob Piccoli's 4th appearance here on Beat the Champ. And he has yet to win, and I know that's burning at him. Like, it's great to be on the show. That means he is good. He wouldn't be on the show 3 times if he wasn't good and qualified well, but he wants to win.
I know. I mean, he's had a lot of appearances and still waiting for his breakout time. But the interesting thing here is this being on a house shot is these are 2 very, very different styles, and it just goes to show you just have to repeat what you do. Oops.
That's not what Rob wanted to do to set the tone in this one, is miss that 10-pin spare. And he'll sit down after that and bring up Sam Dewitt for his first shot of this second match. Very impressive, our first look at Sam Dewitt in the first match.
Yeah, this is a guy that has been in enough matches to know you have to capitalize when someone gives you that opening right off the get-go.
You know, I'm going to ask you this question because at one point you were not one of those tournament-level bowlers until you became one, right? So what do you remember about those first experiences making that step up from being a really good Buffalo bowler to now being sort of a regional bowler that you were so successful at? Because that's kind of what we're talking about with Sam.
I think that I never was as successful at it as I could have been if I would have done it more. I always had that hesitation of bowling for my money as opposed to just, getting that guaranteed paycheck. But I have had the great experience of bowling with Liz and Sue.
Sure, so I was thinking the same thing. You've been around Liz, so you know what that's like.
Right. And seeing what it took and seeing just how special it is to be able to channel your energy. And that's what it comes down to is how do you channel that emotion? And Liz, I've watched Liz become more focused and more intense in these situations and not nervous at all. And if you don't do it enough, you get nervous.
So is that a little bit of what you're seeing from Sam, where he is locked and he's focused? He doesn't appear to be nervous. He doesn't appear to have many emotional swings just in the little bit that we've seen him? You're seeing some of those signs?
Yeah. And, just to elaborate, I just want to say, when I say Liz, I mean Liz Johnson, who is definitely everybody in Niagara Falls knows who I'm talking about when I say Liz.
Yeah.
And Susan Jeziorski, who the three of us have been teammates for 30 years now. And talk about being fortunate to bowl with a couple people like that.
Well, that leads us into another little topic of discussion here as you watch Rob try to get this spare in the second frame. Liz Johnson from right here in Niagara Falls, just part of an amazing bowling tradition in this part of Western New York. Buffalo is Erie County. We are in Niagara County, but you've got Liz Johnson from Niagara Falls. You've got the all-time winningest bowler on this show, Nin Angelo, who won 19 weeks in a row from Newfane, a little bit east of where we are here. Mm-hmm. You've got the legendary Ali Brand, who has a bowling center in Lockport named after him for the first 800 series or the first, one of the great 800 series of all time, right?
I believe
highest in the country ever from Ali Brand. So those are all guys who are from this area.
Right. Western New York is a strong bowling community, and I have to say that as we were growing up, the lane conditions were really held to a standard that made everyone a better bowler. So when we competed out on a national level, we saw tougher lane conditions. And there was a guy that goes back, his name is Ben Palumbo, and he was militant about keeping those conditions, more competitive. So we had great people like Dave Gwindon, Mike Newman, these high rollers. Back then, they were just coming out of this area and thriving because they were used to shot making. And as the lane conditions softened, and there's become a separation between true shot makers and good bowlers.
Sam Dewitt, third frame.
Sam chose to make a ball change here, even though he really hasn't missed the pocket because he didn't like where it was going. Again, you're watching Rob leave the 10 pins because he's in the wetter part of the lane. Sam needs to stay where he is. He knows he needs to use that drive for a better carry. So he used a ball that would give him the look that he's looking for more strikes.
Is that unusual to do it so early in a match?
No. So this is a one-game match, and you have to make your moves.
So if you didn't like how the first frame went, there's no hesitation.
Well, you know how he was leaving the last pins falling were the 7-10, and I said you don't want to mess around with that. He definitely needed to sit up a little higher up in the pocket, and you'll see on the right lane when he's up there, it's not really coming in light. It's the ball's rolling up and sitting a little higher up in the pocket. 3
in a row for Sam Dewitt now, and that puts the pressure on Rob Piccoli, who has gone open, spare, and Rob's going to have to start making some strikes here. I think to follow up on your other point, and there is Rob with that strike, the level of competition tests you even when you bowl in leagues or local tournaments. Mm-hmm. You're bowling against pretty high-level people. How much did that prepare you for the next steps?
Oh, well, absolutely. I can only say that I was fortunate enough to be in a group of people that, pushed you to be your best. In order to stay with them, you had to be your best.
And that's 2 in a row for the 39-year-old from Kenmore, Rob Piccoli. And Rob is certainly in that category of one of the best in Western New York bowls in 4 leagues during the course of the week, 23 career 300s. He just had his 5th 800 series shortly before we taped this show, and competes at a very high level amongst Buffalo bowling tournaments. And that's why he's a steady on our show.
And the one thing about it being a house shot, we talk about the house shot being softer, being a little bit better scoring. Hitting the pocket every frame does not guarantee you a strike. That's where Rob was seeing the 10 pins and falling behind as Sam can strike and Rob couldn't. So Rob he saw that the ball had to hit higher flush because the way he was hitting the pocket was just going to leave those flat 10 pins all day. So his change was to hit. Again, we're talking about hitting higher up in the pocket, more flush.
Everybody's on a strike run right now, and there is what you talked about. So that was 4 in a row for Sam, and then it ends with a 7-10 while Rob Piccoli was working 2 in a row, and you said he was flirting with the 7-10s.
Right, so that was on the right lane. Sam chose not to change balls on the left lane. He had only changed balls on the right lane, and this was almost looking like what he was trying to avoid in the right lane ended up coming and biting him on the left lane.
He gave that one a run, didn't he? But it's going to be an open in the 6th frame for Sam Dewitt that makes this match a little bit closer. Come on back to the Rapids Bowling Center.
The Western New York area has long been considered one of the best anywhere for the sport of bowling.
And no matter where you live, we have lanes nearby.
For top competition,
Fun with family and friends,
great food and drink, or just a night out, we got you.
we are
The bowling proprietors
of Western New York.
Stop in and enjoy our sport today.
Four of this season's best bowlers will emerge from an elite field and take aim at the season's biggest first-place check, where only one can win. It's the season finale and the coveted title, the Beat the Champ Invitational, presented by Storm. Find out who wins this season's signature event. Catch all the action here on MSG. So the door opens for Rob Piccoli here in the 6th frame after Sam Dewitt leaves it open in the 6th, and Rob is on a double, and all of a sudden Rob can get himself back in the lead here.
That's right. He can go up 2 by continuing to strike.
And it was Rob that opened had the open to start in the 1st frame, and that one kind of lost its momentum.
Yeah, no, it actually hit the dry and came up high is what happened. So he missed to the right, which is where the dry boards are. He got there early. Ball started hook up here, came up high flush. I mean, that was a good break leaving the 4-pin because it was heading for the close to a split. But his margin for error, you could tell, is not that great. He misses a little right, and the ball's hooking up high. He gets the ball in. He's leaving a 10-pin. So he almost has to be perfect. He's not creating a whole lot of area for himself right here. He can hit the pocket. It just can't strike.
Yep, we are working a house shot here at the Rapids Bowling Center, and that has led to some pretty good scoring, of course, including the 300 last week by Stephen Conklin, and he went 246, 247, 300 in his 3. So that could lead you to the fact that we are in a scoring situation here based on the shot and based on the conditions here at this terrific bowling center in Niagara Falls, New York.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure what Rob is thinking, but my best guess is that this ball is not giving him what he needs. He pulled that one in a little bit because he knows he needs to hit high flush, so he helped it. And Rob's too good of a bowler to not create a little bit of area. So he's down 12 now. Rob's down 12.
Yeah, so briefly, after having the opportunity to take the lead, now he finds himself back down, and now how does Sam match up and follow up that open on the 7-10?
I'm sorry, I read that wrong. He's down 22, so this match is even a little further apart.
And there you go. I was just to say that, we're already seeing that Sam has that just professional attitude to him, and what do pros do? They quickly forget something that went wrong.
Well, in all honesty, he hasn't missed the pocket. That was a pocket 7-10. That was his one open, and for all 7 frames, he has not struggled to hit the pocket. Now let's see what he does here, and he did make the ball change on the left lane this time. So that just goes to show you how the lanes change, because he was very lined up with the ball that he had started with. And it started to go a little long on him and not hit the pocket as strong. So his answer is this ball change.
Yeah,
That
good.
actually
Found
didn't
the
hit.
pocket well again there.
It didn't hit as good as he would have liked. Again, he's in. So this lane, he's a little bit deeper, not getting it all the way to the gutter. Hit a little bit light.
We're talking inches.
We are.
We're talking
It's very
less
subtle.
than inches,
Very subtle.
which again is just what it takes to be great in this sport. So it's a spare in the 8th for Sam Dewitt III. Our host center for Beat the Champ, presented by Storm, is Rapids Bowling Center. You can find them online at rapidsbowlingcenter.com. They're just one of our many great host centers. If you want details on how to be a part of Beat the Champ, just stop into any of our host centers and ask, how can I be on the show? And we might be seeing you here on the lanes. Again, Rob's not getting any luck here either, is he?
No, I mean, it's just this ball is just not carrying for him.
So it's a 7-pin that stares him down.
Oh, it's hard to tell with Rob whether he's bowling good or whether he's not bowling good.
Yeah, he is as unemotional as
his demeanor
Stephen
doesn't
Conklin
change.
is emotional, right? And stick around for our championship match, which is the winner of this versus Stephen Conklin, and you will enjoy watching Stephen. You will enjoy listening to the Niagara Falls hometown crowd that will be here to cheer him on. Now that their buddy Rob Klinger is out of the way, it can be all focused on the Falls guy. It's going to be loud and wild in here for our next match. And don't forget, 2 weeks from now, we will have our highly anticipated wrap up the season signature event, the Beat the Champ Invitational. We are really excited about it. That is 2 weeks from today. It is all of the best bowlers from this show all season long. An incredibly taxing qualifying amongst all the bowlers that have been on TV to pare it down to 4 who will battle for our biggest prize of the year and the much coveted, and if it's not much coveted yet, it will shortly be the Healy Miller Trophy. We are really excited. That is 2 weeks from today when we come to you with our Beat the Champ Invitational. We're fired up about it. And that's a big strike with a little slide to get it for Sam Dewitt III.
Yeah, the ball's certainly not creating the pocket that he would like, but he just wants to get through this match, I'm sure. That was another light hit, got a break with the messenger.
So all Sam needs is 9 pins, and he will head to our championship match. And he got the 9. That thing is still bobbing and weaving. He's enjoying a little laugh because he knows he's wrapped up a win. Sam Dewitt, 2 in a row, headed to the championship match against Stephen Conklin. Beat the Champ back after this. Championship match, Sam Dewitt and the hometown guy, Stephen Conklin, our returning champion from a week ago. And again, wait till you hear the hometown crowd get behind Stephen after what he did last week, including our first ever Beat the Champ 300 game. Stephen we got 2 guys that are locked in, don't we?
Yeah, we've got 2 really strong competitors going at it today.
And just like he did in throwing that 793 3-game series a week ago, lots of strikes already from Stephen Conklin.
Well, we could say right away that he's coming in a different position this week, and he's at the top on bowled on lanes and isn't using the same line or the same ball that he used last week. So good ball choice by him and a very good start.
Sam Dewitt with the 216 to 202 win over Rob Piccoli gets to the championship, and I have the feeling we're going to see a lot of that over the next 9 frames.
Well, yep, and here's the interesting lane for Sam. The right lane, he's able to get it out and get the ball to come back really strong. It seems like on the left lane, it's a little bit tighter, and the ball doesn't come back and hit quite as hard as the right lane. So we'll have to watch his adjustment here on the left lane. Came up light on his fill balls in the last game both times.
Locked in is Stephen Conklin. Pretty locked in is Sam Dewitt as well. And that's 2 good throws, 2 good shots for Sam Dewitt to start with a pair of strikes.
And he is using 2 different balls on the lane, so that does tell you that the left lane is different from the right lane.
So here's Stephen Conklin, 30 years old, from right here in Niagara Falls, New York.
He does send those messengers.
Sometimes you need a hometown break too, don't you?
He sends messengers. He sends pins flying.
We saw that be part of his success a week ago, and here it is.
Watch, Paul. That was a 2-slapper. Oh, we didn't catch it.
Well, we'll get it here. We've had 2 slappers. We've had 3 slappers. We asked him what it'll take to get a 4-slapper.
2-slapper.
That's a 2-slapper. Yeah, that one's not getting any slaps other than he'd love to slap the 7-pin out of the way.
So interesting enough, last week we saw this left lane being Steven's favorite lane. He didn't struggle too much on the left lane. So, obviously this is a new week. We don't know. But that one hooked up a little bit high on him. So he also chose to finish on this lane because he had the choice of whether he was going to go first or not.
So a spare in the 3rd frame for Stephen Conklin, and strikes in the first 2 for our Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania bowler, Sam Dewitt III. 36 years old with a 238 average right now.
And a lot of tournament experience.
Yep. And again, this is a championship match like this, and how about that messenger?
Right back at you, Steven. I can throw pins too.
Yeah, watch the pin action here.
Very similar to what we saw from Steven throwing the messenger at that 10-pin.
Let's see if we get any slaps out of Sam here. I'm going to guess no. Well, okay, we got the double arm hug, so we'll let that count.
Great shot.
4 frames, 4 strikes for Sam Dewitt. Stephen Conklin has been there on the other side of this, so now he's got the work to do.
It just feels like that the experience that Sam has shows, when it comes to making these adjustments, throwing a different ball on each lane, not playing the lane the same. They are both playing that right lane almost exactly the same. They're getting the ball at the same break point. It's really just a matter of whether you get the messenger to come take out that 10.
Yeah, this time it did not deliver its message.
Nothing even came across.
Nope. Stephen averaged 264 in his 3 matches last week, of course, including the 300. Oh, and he knew it right away that he got it too far right, and that's an open in the 4th.
It was kind of odd where he stood. He stood maybe
he lined up wrong?
Well, I think the ball return makes a difference to people. Like if you really have to nudge up to that ball return to be standing as far left as you normally are, and he was a good 10 boards right from that ball return, so he may shy away from the ball return. I don't know, but that angle was not as much as it should have been.
And once again, a nudge of the 10-pin, but not enough.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing on that left lane. We're seeing the ball go a little bit. It just lagged because you got to play in, throw, not get it all the way to the gutter, and it doesn't come back as strong. Let's see where he lines up for this 10 pin.
Yeah, that was skirting with the edge a little
left,
too,
yeah,
wasn't it?
But I definitely think the ball return makes a difference on the right lane for him.
All right, so open spare in the 4th and 5th for Stephen Conklin, while Sam Dewitt is working 4 in a row right now.
That was a break. He got that one too far down the lane to the right.
There was not a lot of action going on other than the action of the pins sort of slow motion falling.
When it finally got there, it got all the way to the lip. Didn't have enough room to come back, but he did trip the 2-8.
So it is 5 frames and 5 strikes for Sam Dewitt. Should he win this, he will advance to next week's show, where he has the potential to match up with his buddy Derek Green, the Buffalo bowler, who is kind of the one that got him onto our show here. And that strike run comes to an end in the 6th frame for Sam Dewitt.
Yeah, we're going to see the challenge here again of this left lane. He got that one further right than probably should have. It came back, just came back a little bit light. A little bit half pocket.
And that's a spare in the 6th frame for Sam Dewitt. He's off to a good start. We'll come back for the wrap-up of our championship match. Beat the Champ, presented by Storm.
What is it about bowling that captivates us so much? Mastery of the game is impossible, but perfection is just within reach. Success seems to lie 60 feet ahead, but the real battle takes place 6 inches between your ears. So if no matter how many times you fail, you would still do anything, and I mean anything, just to get 1% better. We know exactly how you feel.
XXX Tech Bowling Supplies is committed to continuing the decades-long tradition of excellence established by the DeSanto family. We are the ultimate destination for customer service, experience, and product variety. We offer an extensive inventory of balls, bags, shoes, and accessories. Our unique fitting and drilling process, combined with our in-house lane, ensures a perfect fit every time. With a range of repair and maintenance services, we can help keep your gear performing at its best. Consult our team today at 1000 Highland Drive in the J. Scuddy South Plaza, conveniently located off of 390 in Henrietta.
Rapids Bowling Center, Niagara Falls, New York, championship match. Beat the Champ, Sam Dewitt, and this gentleman, Stephen Conklin. And Stephen needed that strike, and he gets it in the 6th frame. So Stephen did last week what Sam is trying to do this week, which is win all 3 matches, become our champion, advance to the next week. Stephen did it last week. Sam, by nature of his first 2 wins today, trying to do the same thing here.
Notice the ball change here from Steve. He switched balls and he tightened up his line a little bit. That last shot did not get as far to the right, didn't open it up as much.
Oh my goodness. That pin moved a foot, maybe to the right, and didn't fall?
Yeah, that was a good shot, just bad pin collision. And
watch this. So here's the spare attempt for Stephen Conklin.
Yep, and as you can see, that pin was back in the 8-pin position because it was the 8-pin that got pushed over to the right, slid over, but it went to a spot where is not really a spot for a pin.
Because it can't be set by the pin machine.
So the rack knocked it over, so it has to go back to where to what original pin it was.
Interesting. That's a little bit of the rules that we don't always see very often. And talk about some pin act. Now what? That's the tomahawk?
Well, no, I just said that.
Oh,
that is not a bowling term.
See, you can't confuse me like that. I'm still trying to learn my bowling terms.
It got tomahawk. Oh, that 10 pin got beat up on both sides.
It did get. You had 2 different pins taking that one out. So Sam Dewitt had strikes in the first 5 frames, a spare in the 6th, and then tomahawk in the 7th. And if he keeps tomahawking maybe the 8th and the 9th, he'll have this thing wrapped up. There's another one in the 8th.
That's a great shot because that is the challenging lane. Again, using 2 different balls.
Eighth frame for Stephen Conklin.
Oh.
Yes.
So the challenge of being the champ, and you're going to be first or second no matter what. So that's great. But the person that you're bowling against has bowled a bunch of games on these lanes and kind of has seen the transition and how it's been moving. With great spare.
Terrific spare.
And has better idea of how to adjust to it because they've been seeing the changes as they go, where he's coming on and gets some practice shots and kind of has to make a quick decision.
So can that be a little momentum boost to finish strong? And maybe much needed strike in the 9th frame for Stephen Conklin. Still got an uphill climb right now.
He's got a real uphill climb. The best he can post up is a 215 if he strikes out. And Sam is going at he's got a 240. Could shoot 279, but he's going 230, 240 pace.
Yeah, and it was all from that front 5 strikes, plus the lucky breaks like that.
Yep.
So Sam Dewitt, with that strike in the 9th frame, has claimed the title of our champion here at the Rapids Bowling Center in Niagara Falls, New York. The amazing run of Stephen Conklin comes to an end, unfortunately, for the Niagara Falls guy, but we'll never forget that 300 game from last week's show, our first ever here on Beat the Champ. But right now, the champion's name is Sam Dewitt III from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
He has the opportunity here to shoot 279. That's no slouch, just that.
Now you know why he averages almost a 240.
He's made some good moves here. He's had to think. It's not just been a pitch and strike thing for him. Even though he's got a lot of strikes, he's worked for them. 2 different balls, 2 different lanes.
Yeah, the ball adjustments, I think, are one of the real keys. Maybe that's what we'll ask him about when we wrap up and get a chance to talk to our new champion, because that really was kind of the key to figuring out, and again, goes back to the high-level tournament experience that Sam has of knowing not only when, but how and what.
And what, yep, because no doubt he's come here with a bunch of bowling balls.
So it's a 268, very impressive for Sam Dewitt. 238, 216, 268 in his 3 matches today, and Stephen Conklin will give his collection of Niagara Falls fans here a chance to cheer him on one more time. So Sam Dewitt III is our winner. We'll hear from Sam and wrap it up when Sue and I return to Niagara Falls, New York. It's Beat the Champ, presented by Storm.
The Western New York area has long been considered one of the best anywhere for the sport of bowling.
And no matter where you live, we have lanes nearby.
For top competition,
Fun with family and friends.
Great food and drink, or just a night out, we got you.
We are the bowling proprietors
of Western New York.
Stop in and enjoy our sport today.
4 of this season's best bowlers will emerge from an elite field and take aim at the season's biggest first-place check, where only one can win. It's the season finale and the coveted title, the Beat the Champ Invitational, presented by Storm. Find out who wins this season's signature event. Catch all the action here on MSG. Beat the Champ is sponsored by Storm, the Bowlers Company, and by the Bowling Proprietors Association of Western New York. Stop in and enjoy our sport today. So Sam Dewitt saves his best for last, his best being a 268 to become our champion. Sue Nawojski during that match pointed out how many times she saw you make a ball change, strategic one lane, the other. What went into all of that thinking part of this game?
The left lane had me troubled most of the time, but I switched to an asim from a symmetric on the right lane just because the symmetric was seeing it a little too hard. I needed something to smooth out if I missed in, or if I missed right, it would just pick up a little earlier. That was my case for the right lane. The left lane, it was guess and pray. I could not get anything going on the left lane. I got lucky the last game, but not much on the left lane.
Yeah, sometimes that works as well, too. And we also want to recognize the incredible thrills given to us last week and today by Niagara Falls native Stephen Conklin. Thanks to the 300 game, Stephen is with Sue.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, Stephen, it's nice to be the champ and be at the top of the ladder, but that comes with its own bunch of challenges. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, after bowling 3 games and then having to sit for an hour or so, you start stiffening up and kind of got to try to stay loose without throwing another ball. And then you come to lanes that have been bowled on and the oil's breaking down and you have to adjust. And I just had some bad breaks and he threw the ball good.
Yep. And that's what it is. I mean, he had the opportunity to be on the lanes for a couple of games, and you came in cold.
Yeah, it was pretty stiff, and trying to regroup after he was on fire, it's pretty hard to beat.
I know. Well, we enjoyed watching you be on fire because that 300 is going to stay in our minds for a long time. So that's why we watch this game, and that's why we play this game, to see what happened there for you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Back to you, Paul.
All right. Thank you, Sue. You really were the out-of-town guy. You're from Pittsburgh. You come into Niagara Falls. You have to bowl against the hottest guy off the 300 who's from here with the crowd. How much does your tournament experience kind of help you block all that out?
You couldn't tell from the first match. I didn't feel like I was blocking much out. I got comfortable. Once I got comfortable, it was a little bit different, and I just kind of let the muscle memory take over. I was just trying to focus on my mark and just try to block everything out and just let the muscle memory do what it does.
All right. Well, get comfortable again because he's going to stick around for another week. We're going to see Sam Dewitt on next week's show. We're going to see you as well, too. It is Beat the Champ, presented by Storm. See you next week.